A mermaid princess makes a bargain with an unscrupulous sea witch in order to meet a human prince on land.
Hi, I'm Andre.
I'm Michelle.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Luis.
And we are the Walt Vault, a family-friendly podcast where we get silly and talk about Disney movies. Welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 12? Is that what episode this is?
It is.
I should probably know that. For the week of January 15th. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, everybody.
Happy MLKJ Day.
And also, more importantly, I suppose, happy birthday to
Thanks.
Michelle.
Go me. It's my birthday. It's my birthday.
Today.
We are recording on her birthday, which is the 14th, if you want to send her a belated birthday message.
I'll take a belated birthday message. I like it.
And so, because it is Michelle's birthday, we're watching her favorite Disney movie on Earth in all of the galaxy.
The Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, I didn't know what song that was.
I didn't know either.
Hey. Horatio, Thelonious, Ignatius, Crustaceous, Sebastian.
Oh, we're just starting already?
I just had to say it.
First impression.
I had to say it. I'm sorry because that little seahorse is so cute.
Magnifico Bisbal.
No
What?
one's going to know who Magnifico Bisbal is, Luis.
I don't know who that is either.
We're reading a book to Addie right now, so you know you're supposed to read to your children.
Yes.
Yeah, we're reading a book called 100 Years in Solitude.
Oh.
Sounds,
By Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
And it's a book that's
sounds kind of depressing.
it's translated from Spanish.
Okay.
And it is in such high-level literature that even I, the wordsmithy, am like, I'm not really sure what that word is.
Oh.
Words me. And this is a children's book?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
No,
You're just-
No, she's just reading it.
This is a
children.
Luis book.
Okay, gotcha.
And it puts her to sleep every time.
Oh, there you go.
Well, that's good.
How did we get there? Oh, Magnifico Bisbal.
That's right.
No, we got there because I was saying Sebastian's full name, which is crazy.
Horatio Thelonious Ignatius Crustaceous Sebastian.
Yeah, Sebastian's not his first name; it's his last
It
name. y'all.
blew my mind to
No,
learn.
that's actually true. I didn't know.
That's
You guys didn't
Sebastian.
know?
What's
I
his
thought it
last
was
name?
like Sebastian Thelonious, Felonious, or Tonius.
I thought his name was Sebastian the
No,
Crab.
his name is Sebastian the Crab. That's what he goes by.
Sabby.
So let's talk about first impressions, Andre.
No, Michelle, why don't you go ahead and give your
No,
first
I'll
impression?
go last.
Okay.
I'll go last.
All right.
Don't let me down, everybody.
My first impression of this movie, I watched this movie a fair amount over the years, so I've always enjoyed it. Upon watching it this time, I gleaned a few more details, but I love this movie. It's good. That's my first impression.
That's your first impression.
That's the whole
Not,
thing.
oh my God, this is the best movie ever. I could watch it every day for the rest of my
I feel like
life.
that wasn't your reaction to The Lion King.
No.
Was
I'm pretty
it?
sure he just said, I loved this movie. Like,
Yeah.
what else do you want from him?
I wanted him to be like, that's like squealing like a little girl. Oh my God. This
If my
movie is
boyfriend
so
was squealing like a little girl, I'd be a little
This
worried.
is not a squealing kind of movie. This
Fine.
movie was good, but it didn't make me
If
squeal.
it was Spider-Man, you'd be squealing.
Speaking of Spider-Man, Prince Eric was voiced by a man by the name of
Spider-Man.
Christopher Daniel
No.
Barnes. And Christopher Daniel Barnes voiced Peter Parker in the 1990s Spider-Man cartoon. And that was very distracting for me because
He thought Prince Eric was Spider-Man the whole time.
Because he was
Spider-Man
quippy.
was here.
He's not. He's Prince Eric, who is fabulous. Now, what is your first impression, Luis?
They had great music.
Oh,
movie does
nice.
have great
That's a
music.
great first impression.
Michelle appreciates
Michelle is
that.
rating all the first impressions.
Nice. Yeah.
Her rating on our ratings.
Alan Menken. I actually, we should post this on the Instagram page, but I tagged Emily in a shirt the other day on Instagram, and it was like, I grew up on Alan Menken and something else. But the important part was Alan Menken.
Okay, I'm going to explain what she just said.
Yeah.
She
Yes.
tagged me in a picture of a shirt. She didn't tag me in a shirt.
Oops, awkward.
And the shirt said, like, I love and grew up on Alan Menken, and I was like, yes, very true. We should get those shirts.
I know.
And wear them in the D-land.
Well, because then when
The
we like
D-land.
sing obnoxiously throughout the park, people will just read our shirts and be like, "Oh, okay, they get
Or
it."
normal people will be like, who's Alan Menken?
Right.
I hope not. we're gonna have to educate them. What's your first?
We're gonna have to
Scream
educate
from
them.
the rooftops. You don't know who Alan Menken is.
I feel like Michelle was about to take you. I'm gonna take you.
Gonna take all the way.
You're freaking Cajun.
You know you love it.
All right.
It's hilarious. What am I saying?
Your
Your first impressions.
of The Little Mermaid.
Much. Okay, so I was ready to like make lots of fun of this movie because when Michelle likes something really hard, I just got to make fun of it.
Yep, that's what friends do.
It's like if anyone likes anything, I have to make fun of it. Not in a mean way, just in a like.
I
if
can attest to that because when we went to go watch soccer on Friday, she was like completely making fun of the fact that the players were in the game. They were, testosterone was flowing. They were young. Yeah,
That they were like playing the game.
Yeah,
And
that
she
I was laughing
she
because
laughing at
it
that.
was so funny. They were like, "Yeah, cool," and I was
was too
like, "Oh
intense.
my god,
That's
this
what
is
they
not-
do, Emily.
And I love soccer,
well.
so she therefore made fun of the fact that they were all
Yeah.
into it. But of course, coming from an athletic background, that's normal, and I can understand why she, besides the fact that I love it, she would want to make fun of it because she.
She just wants to make fun of the Little Mermaid because I am the Little Mermaid. That's why.
him.
Daddy, love him.
No,
Oh my God, am I Prince Eric?
What?
You're Spider-Man.
Oh, okay, that works.
Who is
so
Prince
happy.
Eric by
Yeah.
proxy? So
Cool.
See, you're
Killing it.
welcome.
Perfect.
Wow. Okay. Now y'all
Anyways.
make fun of me, making fun of you, making fun of me, making fun of you.
Whoa.
I enjoyed this movie. No, I really did enjoy it. There's moments, but every Disney movie has moments.
Right.
But my first impression, I don't want to throw it out there quite yet, like my overarching theme, because it's gonna make me sound like I'm a Little Mermaid freak, like Michelle. So I can't throw it out there just yet.
A freak.
I love
say
this
awkward?
movie.
No, I said a freak.
Anyways, so I have too much to say about this movie, guys.
We can't start with
Well,
you.
we have an hour. so-
But okay, this is what I want to talk about first. So the thing that people like to make fun of me the most, like they'll be like, "Who's your favorite Disney princess?" And I'm like, "The Little Mermaid." And they'll be like, "The Little Mermaid?" I'm like, "Yeah." They'll be like, "Oh, she's kind of whiny and like, but Daddy, I love him." And like you watch that movie as an adult and you're like, "You're stupid." Blah blah blah. Okay, literally, she says she's 16 years old. She goes, "I'm 16. I'm not a little girl anymore." So that's why I connect with her, because I was totally like that as a teenager.
Yeah.
Like whiny and Daddy, I love him and I want to do what I want to do and be independent, and I'm just going to give away my voice for a man because that's normal. So, I feel for her.
Well, she's one of those characters, honestly, if you take yourself back to being a teenager, at least a girl teenager, you're dramatic, you say a lot of
So
crazy
dramatic.
stuff. There's a lot of hormones going on. Who knows
Yeah.
what's happening? So if you look at it from that point of view, it's really not that ridiculous.
She's one of those Disney princesses that didn't have to grow up too fast either. Like she's
Oh,
just
yeah.
a little girl doing her thing, looking off in the distance lovingly at Prince Eric's statue.
Oh,
like
yeah.
totally.
And her older
teenage
sisters
girl.
were just doing them. So she
Right.
just got to be kind of
yeah.
hanging out. Yeah, so it's funny because watching it this time, I thought like if you took literally that line out of the movie, but Daddy, I love him, nobody could really make fun of her. Like literally, that's like the line that
Yeah.
people make fun of the most.
True.
But
Because
it's necessary.
but it's not that ridiculous without it. Do you know what I mean? It's
No,
like, ooh,
yeah.
it's not so dramatic. But
But I also think
I get
about
it.
like as a teenager when you had a crush on a guy, like you literally thought you loved him like the next day, or at least that was just me. Whatever, it's fine.
Daddy, I love
Michelle
Andre.
literally thought she loved him.
The point is, I'm the Little Mermaid. I've always been a mermaid. I'm wearing a Little Mermaid shirt right now. I got Little Mermaid socks. On.
Little Mermaid.
I didn't
socks.
even notice the Little Mermaid socks.
Are you serious? The moment she walked in here, I was like, Little Mermaid socks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're nice.
Thanks.
Cool.
I have a
socks.
Little Mermaid Thomas Kincaid. I need another one.
Yeah, she does.
We've got Little Mermaid stuffed animals all over the place.
Yeah.
we
Oh,
got
flounder.
multiple flounders.
I was telling Andre this. When I was a kid, I think, like when I was younger, my mom would always put on Cinderella for me, and Cinderella was pretty popular at the time. Like, I had blonde hair, so Cinderella. You know what I mean? But
she was
fun
she was trying to get you to clean.
Fun fact. Yeah, the Little Mermaid was supposed to originally have blonde hair.
Oh.
The
That's
reason
right.
they made her hair red was to not confuse her with the mermaid from the movie Splash.
Yes, with Daryl Hannah's character from Splash. Because Splash had come out in
What the heck is
1984.
Splash?
You've never seen Splash either?
Okay, I haven't seen it either, but I knew the fun fact that
Is that a Disney movie?
I
No.
don't think it's Disney.
I knew the fact that she was originally supposed to have blonde hair and they changed it to red, but I didn't know why. So Andre found out why, but I've never seen that movie.
Well,
Splash is good. It's a live action movie starring Tom Hanks about a young,
and he's a blonde mermaid.
No, she's a blonde
No,
mermaid.
there's a girl in there who's a
Daryl
blonde
Hannah.
mermaid.
It says a young man is reunited with a mermaid who saves him from drowning as a boy and falls in love, not knowing who or what she is. So it's
Yes.
actually very similar to the Little
Yeah.
Mermaid,
So-
but like from Eric's
yeah.
perspective.
So Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is Eric.
I'm just thinking of like the conductor of Polar Express in love
I'm
with
thinking
a mermaid.
of Forrest Gump.
Yeah, it's 1984.
I'm
It's-
thinking
it's-
about
it's
Was he
the guy
young?
from Castaway.
It's young man
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
Interesting, right? Look at the picture.
Oh, that's more acceptable than what I had in my head. Except for she looks like
That's an
she got
awful
a.
80s movie.
Ooh man.
Yeah.
And I love 80s movies.
It's an 80s.
That's
It's an 80s
awful.
movie for sure.
But also, I can't picture the Little Mermaid without red hair. It is so
No.
iconic. And even we were kind of talking about the animation in the movie. Like, I mean, for 1989, it was pretty good. They didn't do as good of a job like on the background stuff,
Right.
per se. But the way they really paid attention to her hair.
Oh yeah.
Like the way it moved and flowed and everything. I was like,
Well, it's
So-
interesting because
Yes.
if you think about her colors, which I'm sure someone's going to bring it up, how like all of her sisters have like all one type of color. They're all like in
Yeah.
a green hue or a blue or a yellow or orange or whatever.
Yeah.
Her hair's red. Her eyes are very blue. Her shells are purple. And her fin is
green.
green. So she has all of these really strong, bold colors together that don't really typically go together. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like those four colors aren't really like, you're not like wearing a dress that has those four colors on it.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
Yeah. And speaking of the sisters, I mean, they really do try to set her apart. Like, all of the sisters have these very ornate shells or sea stars and stuff in their hair, and Ariel totally doesn't. She just wears her hair. She's like a free spirit. She just wears her hair down when she's a mermaid. And so the sisters' names all start with A and end with A, but Ariel's does not. So it's Athena,
Ariela.
who is orange, Alana, who is violet, Aquata is blue, Arista is red, Adela is yellow,
Oh, God.
Adrina is indigo, and Ariel is green.
Is she green though?
Her their
tail is-
their
Oh,
tails,
The rest of them, their tails match their shells.
but not Ariel's. So
Yeah.
she's very spunky, like just like those little things that make you think like she's trying to rebel, like from her
I
father,
will
almost
not
per
have the
se.
same color.
She's very like independent, but I think that's what I
Different.
like
I'm gonna
about
wear
her.
my hair down,
I'm gonna wear my hair down. Yeah.
not like Adrina.
Well, you know, I'm not gonna say she's independent. She's a free spirit
Yeah.
because independency, in my eyes, is attributed with common sense, and
Oh
she
my
kind of lacked
god.
it, if you ask me.
Well, a little bit.
I would compare her to a modern day Merida. Very free spirited. Merida just rides her horse and does
Merida.
whatever she wants.
Not in the love sense, Louise. He's making a really
No.
dirty face.
No,
But
That's because Louise
does
loves
not agree
Merida.
at all.
I agree. I would say because Merida wants to do what Merida wants to do.
Ariel wants to do what Ariel wants to do.
Yeah.
Take like the reason out of it. One wants to go to love, the other one does not want to go to love, but they both are like parents. Back up, parent.
Right.
Excuse me.
Parent,
Back
yeah.
up.
Dad,
you know,
leave me alone.
Which kind of made me like it almost when I was done, I kind of thought of Brave because of like the whole mom Merida thing and like, but it's like Ariel with her dad. And I mean, we could talk about King Triton too, whom I love, and a lot of people do not because the whole and I did cringe like the scene where he destroys all of her stuff. That gets me every time. I'm like, no.
he destroys her globe first because he's about to tear her whole world apart.
Don't say
You
that.
will not be part of her world.
And he's always, and it's funny because Andre and I read a in-depth character analysis of King Triton on Wiki Fandom last night.
Lord. I
Which
thought
is
you
like
guys
a-
read like a
Wiki fandom.
real like
No. It was
character
on Wiki Fandom, but it was actually like very, very accurate. So if you think about King Triton, like
the,
if you didn't know his backstory, you would kind of be like, wow, he's like a really harsh father, and he just wants Ariel to do whatever he wants Ariel to do.
He wants
But-
her to sing.
Yeah.
But I
Are
feel
you
for
gonna
him.
give us the info or are you just
Oh,
gonna cry
you want
about
me to
it?
give you the info? Okay, so In The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Beginnings, which is the prequel, which apparently you guys didn't know about. It's fine.
That nobody knew existed. Go
Everybody
ahead.
knew it existed. Anyways.
Everybody knew it existed.
Yes.
No one knew it existed. except
Well,
ahead.
something's wrong with you. Okay, so anyways, in that one, the very opening scene is the whole kingdom really likes music.
Yeah.
And so they go up to the surface and they play music like on the rocks and things like that, but then there was like a ship and it crashed into his mom and the mom died.
Oh.
So King Triton bans all music from the kingdom.
Okay.
And you can't go to the surface because humans are bad. And even though it was an accident, like how his wife died, he's very bitter about it. So no music, no going to the surface, no humans.
I'm surprised. I was expecting, because Luis and I were talking about this while we were watching it. I'm like, Mom had to have been killed by a human because
Right.
why else would he be so like grumpy
No,
about
it
it?
was an
About
accident.
humans.
Well, that makes. I kind of wish it was like someone harpooned her because that would make
Right.
more sense as to why he's so angry. If it's an
Yeah.
accident, I mean,
Well, good thing it's a wiki fan page because anybody can go in there and change that because I really do think that.
That
they said it
wasn't
was in
from
the
the wiki
movie.
page. That's from the movie I watched, but okay.
Oh, is that how?
that's what he just said.
From Ariel's
From Ariel's-
Beginnings.
Oh, God.
The
That's
prequel.
Beginnings,
kinda
the prequel.
terrible.
Well,
I mean, I agree with you, Em,
Here,
that
let me
it
find
makes
a-
a little bit more sense if
Well, maybe
somebody
Disney
went out and
was-
really killed her.
Well, maybe Disney was trying to Disneyfy it.
Did
Yes.
they kill Ursula?
because this movie
But she's bad
is based off of the Hans Christian Andersen version,
Which is not
The
Disney.
Little Mermaid.
at all.
Which a lot of fairy tales are based off of.
Yes, and it's the real version of this story is like very it's way more
Creepy?
adult and creepy and
Like slicing her fin open so
I'm
that
trying
legs
to
can.
see-
yeah, like she doesn't get to stay a human at the end. She turns into foam and falls into the sea and dies.
Yeah.
In the original.
I'm trying to find what year this movie came out.
What the
I'm on
beginnings?
IMDb. It's The Little Mermaid. 2008. So it came out here, I'll read the synopsis. The
Please.
kingdom of Atlantica, where music is forbidden. The youngest daughter of King Triton, named Ariel, discovers her love to an underground music club and sets off to a daring
Underground
adventure to
music club.
bring restoration of music back to Atlantica.
Okay, first off, it sounds like it's Prohibition era,
Right.
and she's like in the underground.
jazz
Yeah, it's
club.
kind of footloosey, right?
She's the Al Capone of music.
So and it's like
Well, that would make
her and her
sense.
sisters, like, and that's why her in this movie, like, he kind of puts them on the stage. And if you think about, Ariel missed all of those things and stuff like that, and she fought to get all the music there, which is
She's
kind of
like, I
funny.
need music back, but now
Well,
I don't give up.
She just wanted
Rip.
she just wanted to bring music back so she could sing alone in her grotto. That
Maybe.
was the main thing.
I don't
See,
know.
that's why I have a little bit of a problem with that whole mermaids, like untold stories, or before Little Mermaid. If it was consistent, then yes, that just crashes into the rocks and all of a sudden.
That's
bad
why you're not a
music
writer,
and-
Lou.
No, I would actually make a
Yes, I
better
am.
writer for that one movie, believe it or not, because it just doesn't make any sense.
For
to
the
me.
Well,
prequel
prequels tend to not be the best.
No.
So,
Yeah, that
Question
is
for
true.
you guys: what version of this movie did you watch?
so the old one.
I think I think we watched the original.
Like the
Was it
original.
like just
version.
regular DVD?
Yeah,
No, well,
Do you own it?
we streamed.
I do own
We-
it, but I
we-
couldn't find it.
we
Okay.
did like a-
The reason
a-
I ask is because we were watching our DVD, and apparently we have the Diamond Edition. See,
Oh.
So was it the remastered,
crazy
like
editions?
the colors and stuff?
Well, no, it was good,
Yeah,
and maybe
ours
it was
looked fine.
remastered, but it didn't. I wasn't like totally taken by it. But the reason I ask is because every time you freaking paused it, remember how with Wreck-It Ralph you would pause it and
Oh,
something would
yeah.
happen?
Yes.
Same thing here. When you paused it, it said. On the screen, it said it would do a countdown from 5, and it would say intermission karaoke session,
Karaoke.
like karaoke,
Oh.
karaoke, and it was Sebastian on the screen, and then Sebastian would pop up as the court composer, and you would go through all of the songs in the movie.
Oh.
So it was a
What?
sing along, and the sing along would go as you were paused.
Oh my god!
And it was actually really
That's
cute
really
the first
cool.
like 3 times we watched it because we were doing other things like cleaning up the house, the baby was crying,
Yeah.
whatever. And then Louise was like, "Turn that off! I'm here to go good time." So we paused it, and
That's so cool.
but it was really cute.
I definitely do not sound like that. I'm more of a straight to the point kind of guy. Turn that thing off,
well,
just like that.
Well, you just turned the podcast off.
Just
There
like
you
that.
go.
Wow.
speaking
forceful.
of,
Really, because we're still talking.
I'm gonna talk now. Speaking of sing-alongs, you said sing-along, which reminds me of Disney's sing-along song.
Yes.
Did you ever watch those as a
I
kid?
watched. I think I only had like one.
I think I had like one or
Oh,
two.
I had like Pocahontas, and that was the one I had.
Oh, I had
It was
them
good.
all. I even had the
Maybe-
one where it was like they went to Disneyland and they're like, it's gonna Main Street, USA, and they're like
There's a
cleaning
song?
Main Street and stuff like that, the characters, which was like a real live version. So I also had another live version, and it was Sebastian, so like the actual voice of Sebastian, and he was singing different songs and stuff, and they were getting ready for this show that I was at Disney World, and they would sing like all the Sebastian-y songs and stuff like that, and it was so cool, and it reminded me of it.
That's
so
cool.
I need to go into my parents' storage. I need to find it.
And
I
what are
need
you
to
gonna
watch
do?
it.
Find a VHS and put it in what?
I don't know.
We do not have a VCR.
I'm
You can
upset.
find anything on
Sorry, I
Amazon.
just ruined your birthday. So
It's
sorry.
fine.
One of my favorite moments of this movie was not even the movie, it was Luis. Okay, he's like waiting for, like every time a new character came on, he's like, oh look, it's the dog. Oh look, it's Eric, whatever.
Max.
And then he goes, look, it's the pelican dude.
The pelican dude.
Scuttle is a seagull.
I can't stand the pelican.
Scuttle
guy.
is my
Oh, Andre loves him.
favorite. I love Scuttle.
He's an idiot.
I-
So funny.
I
He's
wrote
the
down
dumbest flamingo I have ever
Oh
seen.
my god.
when Scuttle came up. I wrote down Scuttle is drunk all the time.
Question mark?
Question mark?
Snarf flat? Question mark?
Snarf flat.
No,
that was
that
hilarious.
puffin must have lost his mind a long time
Oh
ago.
my God.
When he's describing what the dingle hopper is, he's like, look, an aesthetically pleasing configuration of hair, and I was like, this dude is awesome.
He's hilarious. I love him.
Well, and my favorite part is when he pulls it out of his head. I was afraid like heck of feathers were gonna pop out, and it just like
just poofed his
it
hair.
It's like an afro.
It looks like Luis's hair right now, really.
My favorite part of Scuttle is when Ariel and Eric are in the boat, but they're like not talking or anything, and it's quiet, and he's like, oh, somebody's got to set the mood. And he's like, wah, 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 wah,
That song that he's singing.
And Eric is like, someone
is
should
from
put
Romeo
that
and
poor.
Juliet.
The song
Oh,
he's
is it?
singing?
The song that Scuttle is singing right then is from Romeo and Juliet.
Oh.
Yeah, that was terrible.
And Eric's like, someone should put that poor bird out of his misery. Like,
And Ariel's just like, It's like, oh my God, Scuttle. It's hilarious.
As weird as he was, Scuttle was clutch.
Yeah,
He's
he
funny.
provided a lot of very useful information.
And I wrote, he's the original DIY because
Oh.
he takes the pipe and he's like, I don't know, just make a planner out of it. I was like, you can make planners out of anything,
Out of anything.
even a pipe. Love
Yeah.
it.
It's hilarious.
I love Scuttle.
I love it. Also, now that we're talking about like thingamabobs and stuff like that, who's it's and what's it's galore, thingamabobs are wine stoppers. So funny.
Wine stoppers?
You know how she's like, you want thingamabobs? I got 20. And she opens her things and they're like corkscrews
Oh, yeah, they are.
to open wine. She got 20 thingamabobs. She's 16.
It's not even her. It's all of those like sailors that she got from sunken
Right.
ships were like opening wine bottles all day long.
I
She's
guess,
got a
man.
bunch. She's got a great collection.
They were having fun.
I wrote down that Ariel's a human nerd. She loves.
She totally is.
She's,
Yeah.
she's a land stan.
She reminds me of Ron Weasley's dad.
Arthur Weasley. Ariel and Arthur Weasley would get along so well.
Yeah, they would. What exactly is the purpose of a rubber chicken?
Oh my gosh.
Seriously.
He's
got
like,
plugs?
no. That's not what you do with the
Right.
thingamabob. It is a fork.
They both have red hair. Oh my god.
Meant to, oh.
Hand me down clothes. She must be a Weasley. Just saying.
You never know.
Must
You
be
never know.
Weasley.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. So we have Scuttle, who's a little sidekick.
You
We
know
also,
who I like?
Who?
Grimsby.
You like Grimsby?
Heck of funny.
Oh my god.
No, he's funny because I feel like he gets kind of played a little bit, like
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he does.
you know, and he goes along with it because at first you're like, oh, he better not be bad, but he really loves
He's
Prince
not.
Eric.
No, yeah, he
Right.
He wants him
Yeah.
to be
He loves
happy.
Prince
He
Eric.
bought him a marble statue of
himself.
himself, which is
Kind of creepy.
yeah.
Maybe
it's,
he's a
it's
little-
a lot.
It's funny.
It's a lot. It's a little extra.
It's very
It's
extra.
a little extra.
But I really appreciate how like Ariel, when they're at the dinner table, like she gets swept up on the land. She comes in, they make her all pretty. They're sitting at dinner, and she like clowns on Grimsby a couple times without trying to, and he's just like charming.
Yes. They're so nice to her. I even
Isn't
made
she
that
a
comment
vision?
too. Like
yeah.
if I just blew up on the shore wearing a rag and couldn't speak, they would be like, ooh, take it to the loony bin. But Eric's just like, you
The
need some
loony
help?
bin.
I know he's actually
Okay.
really helpful.
He's
He's all, let
so
me clean you
helpful.
up. He's so... Ooh, I could vouch for Eric any day.
There's no
Eric
ulterior motives.
is the realest. Eric, don't even...
Are we on the Eric train right now? 'Cause
Yeah, we're
I'm
on the
about
Eric
to
train.
Derail that thing.
Oh, Eric Train getting derailed.
All
Let's
right.
hear
Are
it.
we or not? 'Cause
This
I could
is the
wait.
part where Michelle and Louise fight. Yeah. All right, what's your...
Okay,
what do you have
I
to
only
say?
have one gripe with him.
Okay.
It's not even
Okay.
a bad
It's
gripe.
not even that bad, but I still have a gripe with him.
Okay.
Okay.
Ask them first what they think about it.
Okay, no, hold on. I'm going to set the stage.
Okay, set the
Okay.
stage.
Set the stage.
Sage being
Eric
stacked.
is a prince, okay? He is obviously a very good wayfinder, a shipmaster, okay?
Sure.
He knows how to tie stuff.
Oh, wayfinder.
He knows how to tie stuff.
Sails down. He knows how to navigate a ship.
Okay.
He's a pirate.
Pretty much, yeah, he's not. Anyways, he is not 16.
No,
He
he's
is not 18. Okay?
How
He's
old?
not even 20. To me, he is like a 26, 27-year-old man.
Oh, he's
Okay?
like 35.
Going with a
He is not 35.
Going with a 16-year-old girl? I don't know. I'm not buying that.
Where are his parents?
I don't know.
Grimsby's not his dad.
Absolutely not.
He's basically Batman.
Louise
Okay,
Batman.
called him Batman. He's like, he is staring. He had his like arm on the glass window and he was looking out into the the horizon. And he's like, where are my parents?
When he's like playing his recorder, he literally
Yes.
has on a cape.
Yes. And Louise is like, oh my God, he just threw the recorder into the ocean. He's totally Batman. I was like, oh my God.
I'm about to derail Luis right
He's
now.
Batman and Spider-Man.
I just Googled, how old is Prince Eric? According to the film's official novelization, Eric is 18 in the film, 2 years older than the 16-year-old Ariel.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go. Also, the actor, Spider-Man, he was 16 at the time that they recorded this movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I
Totally
would,
fine then.
I kind of appreciate that because I was going to say his voice sounded young.
Yeah.
So when Luis kept saying he was 25, I was thinking that his voice sounded much younger than that. But okay, so
I've always thought Eric was only a couple years older.
it makes me happy that the novelization said he's 18, but I kind of agree with Luis, like the way he carries
The way he
himself, the
acts.
way he acts, like what he's doing
But
on the
if he's
ship.
a little orphan prince, he
But if
maybe
you
had
think
to
about
step
his
up, he had to become a man sooner than
Maybe.
than
Maybe.
most.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's cool. I won't argue with the novelization.
Yep, he's 18. I'm cool with it. So anyways,
I didn't even care if he was 25 and she was 16.
Neither did I.
Like, think
It's not
about the
that
time
bad.
period. Like,
Right.
people be
That was pretty
popping
normal.
out babies at 12.
That
Like,
was
it's not my
pretty normal.
fault.
Yeah.
Eric is the best prince ever because he doesn't do one bad thing. Like,
No.
other princes mess up. Cinderella apparently doesn't, Prince Charming apparently doesn't remember what Cinderella's face looks like the night before he hung out with her and had to try on a shoe with every single person in the,
He had to go meet every lady in the whole
And he's
village.
looking at some crazy
Even-
looking girls, and he's
even-
like,
very non-Cinderella
could be you.
people.
even Flynn Rider, not to bash Flynn Rider, but he's a little criminal at the beginning.
well, and that's what
You
makes
know.
him so endearing.
Oh my god.
You know, but Prince Eric
Daddy.
is...
No.
Let's talk
The-
about Daddy.
Oh,
No
Eric
kids.
is a daddy any day. So let's talk about. He's so sweet. Ariel literally washes up on shore in a rag, can't speak, and he's like, "Okay, well, let's take you to the
Yeah.
castle and we'll clean you up." He shows her a tour of the kingdom, and then at the end, when he figures out she's a mermaid and she just goes into the water, he doesn't even act shocked. He just, without hesitation, hops right in the water to go save her,
Yeah.
takes a freaking harpoon under the water, swims down, and tries to throw it at Ursula for his boo thing.
Eric-
He's the royalist.
Eric
He
is
is.
doing a lot at the end of the movie.
He stabbed
he's-
Ursula through the belly with a sunken ship.
Yeah, he killed
Yeah,
her with
he's
a boat.
legit.
That's pretty.
Well, you
that's
know,
pretty
it's
awesome.
funny because we
Legit.
were watching that scene, and I was like, when she was growing, right? She takes
Yeah.
King Triton's trident. I have a hard time with that.
Tried it.
Just trying. And she's growing, and the crown gets really big, and they
Yeah.
fall off into the ocean. And I was like, Luis, I don't remember how they kill her.
Right, I
Like,
didn't
I
remember
did
that.
not remember how. I was like, how in the heck are they going to kill her, right?
How are they getting out of this?
So she starts the whirlpool, and then the sunken ships come up because of the whirlpool. He jumps onto a sunken ship in the middle of a whirlpool, in the middle of the
whirlpool.
ocean, in the middle of a storm.
He fixes it up to sail it directly into her chest.
Yep.
Like,
Way better than slaying a dragon. I'm just saying. That takes a lot more skill.
I'm gonna agree with you. It was pretty
Yeah,
legit.
it was.
Also,
That's
that
crazy.
whirlpool scene when all the ships come out of the water, I was like, "Is this Pirates of the Caribbean?"
Totally looked like Pirates
because
of the
they have
Caribbean.
that scene where there's like
Yes.
the whirlpool. I was like, "Oh, that's where they got it from."
Yeah.
No, it totally looked like that.
It was really cool.
And she's Calypso. Boom.
Could be, yeah. The point is, Prince Eric is
Calypso.
legit. I even with watching it with a critical eye this time, I was like, okay, I'm gonna see if he does that princey thing where we're all like, oh, the prince, you know what I mean? But no,
The cool thing
He
about
doesn't
him
do
is
anything.
he could have been any character. He could have been
He's
like
so-
an orphan kid on the
Yeah,
street.
he's so
He
humble.
could have he could have been like a librarian. He could have
Right.
been
Yeah.
the baker's child. I mean, he
Yeah.
could just be
Yeah,
anyone.
he didn't have to be a prince.
if I'm living in a kingdom, I want to live in Prince Eric's kingdom because he's gonna be legit. He's
Agreed.
gonna be a
Yeah.
legit king.
Good king.
And I really like how he was like, "This is my girl. We getting married at dusk." And Grimsby's like, "No, we don't have time for that." He's like, "Yes, we do.
At dusk.
I love my girl."
Well, he was under a spell, but you know,
Well, okay,
Well, yeah.
still,
That one.
but he's okay.
I love Prince Eric.
They still got
No,
one
I
next
agree.
day.
So
He's-
we agree he's Batman, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Also, did you hear me say that he's 18, Luis?
Novelist.
I'm not buying it, but I could understand. And I'm not buying it based off. Oh, you know what? Let me backtrack.
In the book, the
in the-
novelization, he's 18 and Ariel is 16.
Okay, so in this movie, we're assuming he's 1800s. You know,
Yeah,
maybe
it's-
1700s,
yeah,
and
something
you
like
know,
that.
max age that somebody lived to was like 31 around 1800. So
Grimsby was
35.
not 31.
Grimsby
Exactly.
was
No, no,
older.
but I'm just saying, like the
Grimsby's
average,
like royalty. Though.
the average lifespan.
Grimsby's
so
his servant, babe.
I guess he could be 18, but I don't know. Whatever. I'm good. He's Batman. That's all that matters.
Yeah, he's Batman. Okay, can we talk about my favorite? I love Flounder.
Yeah, we could talk about Flounder. I mean, I don't have much to say about him.
Go
ahead.
What? Don't be such a guppy. Oh,
No, really.
He's a
Can
guppy.
you talk about Flounder?
yes,
Go
I
for
can. Flounder's cute. I have a bunch of stuffed animals of Flounder.
Lots of flowers.
He's
Andre
really,
can attest.
He's really cute. He's so cute.
Is that it?
He's really cute.
So-
So I like Flounder. He really isn't in the movie as much as you think he is.
No, he's not.
Like he's just really at the beginning with the shark scene and
Yeah. Oh,
stuff
shark
like that.
scene. Shark scene. Scary.
Shark scene was scary.
Dude,
But
that was Bruce from Finding Nemo when he was coming through the ship. I was like,
Yeah.
"Wow."
Oh,
But
I
I-
literally wrote down that this movie takes place in the same universe as Finding Nemo, but they're just on opposite sides of the Earth or something like that.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, could
I'm
be.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was the
So,
same scene.
um,
It literally looked like the exact same scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. I love Flounder, and I have a lot of stuffed animals of Flounder. I have a point here, but
Oh, okay.
when
Good.
I was a kid
Can't
/ teenager / I'm still an adult and still looking for them, I've always really, really wanted stuffed animals of Flotsam and Jetsam, and they don't
Oh,
have
why?
any
You
because
don't-
they're funny.
No, they're not funny. They don't
Flotsam
say
and Jetsam
anything
are
funny.
very creepy.
I like Flotsam and Jetsam.
Like sometimes, like the henchmen are funny.
Right.
Nothing that Flotsam and Jetsam say
yeah, they
is
don't
funny.
do anything funny, but they're Ursula. I think it's the things Ursula says to them.
Very
like
creepy.
makes them
So
funny.
she's funny.
She's like my
She's
baby, like when they get toasted
If I
at the
find
end.
Flotsam and
Oh, my
Jetsam, you're gonna
babies.
like wake up in the middle of the night and like they're gonna be wrapped around your neck and you'll be like, "Ah!"
That one eye is glowing.
Listeners, if you know of a Flotsam and Jetsam stuffed animal, I need it.
She needs it.
You guys are crazy. Whatever. I see some. There's very judging eyes, like daggers, staring daggers. It's fine. Maybe I'll take a Sebastian stuffed animal.
Okay, I
instead.
could do
There we
that.
go,
I've bought a
Sebastian.
Sebastian before. I don't know where he's at, but I had one.
I'll take a Sebastian.
Florencio.
Sebastian Crab.
Oh, here's a question. Okay, so we're watching the movie, and we weren't really thinking about what they say in the movie just yet. And Luis and I were like, where is this supposed to take place? Obviously, it's on the coast, right?
Yes.
And then I thought, you know what? I think it's supposed to be in France because I remember
The
like,
chef is
Louis.
French.
the
yeah.
chef was French. The villa
Mm-hmm.
looked
Yeah.
like it was French. Okay, so I was thinking, and then Luis was like, well, then why is Sebastian Jamaican? And I was like, good question. And then why does the only reference to a sea be the Caspian Sea? Which is, I mean, ish. Where well, just so you know, I looked it up. The Caspian Sea is the largest enclosed inland body of water on the earth.
Cool.
That's next to, what is that, Luis?
It's next to Azerbaijan and over in like the Middle East area, Turkey.
Okay.
So
and that is completely on the opposite side of Jamaica.
what I need you to know
Well, okay, I looked
is
it up.
that
and-
okay?
And
go ahead.
Sebastian is not Jamaican.
Oh, what
he
is
is
he?
Trinidadian. So he's from Trinidad.
So
And I'm
he's
not
a-
sure where that is. but
So,
I know
okay,
it's
so
not
that's in
where
the
Jamaica
Caribbean.
is.
Let me tell you. So he is about maybe 40 miles closer.
Okay,
Okay.
listen.
Not much.
Okay, I'm gonna
Sorry.
explain this here.
Oh,
He is a court
composer.
composer.
Mhm.
You know what? If he heard King Triton, the king of all of the sea, needed a court composer, he probably just applied for the job, went on up there, and was the court composer. That's what happened.
Okay,
flew
so
in
he,
from
he
Trinidad.
flew in.
He swam.
Well,
He-
Nemo
honestly-
swam across the whole ocean.
yeah, but one's a fish and one's a crab.
Uh,
He scuttled.
No, he took his shell with
Seriously.
his little goldfish on him.
He probably would have frozen trying to cross the Caribbean, but not the Caribbean,
Yeah.
the Atlantic. Yeah.
I
That
don't know.
was my only question, was
Yes.
that he was, I'm still going to call him Jamaican, because what am I going to say? Trinidadian?
Trinidadian.
Trinidadian.
Trinidad.
Trinidadian.
And
But-
to explain your Caspian Sea thing, she doesn't say, she sings bring winds from the Caspian Sea, like to cast her spell. So maybe the Caspian Sea is just really windy and she's like summoning the winds from far, far away. She's like, bring winds from the Caspian Sea. Like, come on, winds, get over here in my spell.
Yeah, I don't think that they're in
They're not in the Caspian
Sea.
Sea.
Okay.
I
I'm
think
not
they're
a
in
pretty
the
good
ocean.
geographer, but I'm not quite sure how an inland body of water can cause wind.
You know what? Ask Alan Menken.
That's true.
That's true.
Speaking
If I could talk to him and ask him, I would.
Speaking of Alan, I'm going to get to my point of this whole podcast
Mm-hmm.
predicament.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
I literally wrote down one of my favorites for music,
Yes.
Yeah.
movie-wise.
Because you know it's true.
Because, oh yeah, I wrote it down. Here's the deal. Everything about this movie, musical-wise, is golden.
It's real good.
There's nothing that I can say bad, one iota, about the music. The background music, the score,
it's beautiful.
the choral essence of this movie, like what did you call them? Atlanticans?
They're from Atlantica.
Atlantica. I'm gonna call them
Yeah,
Atlanticans.
Atlanticans.
They're kind of choral singing in the background when the movie begins. At
Oh.
the end, the
Yes.
reprise of
Yes.
Part of Your World.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
when
good.
she's like looking at Eric's face. I'm gonna cry now.
Yeah, well, don't cry. Legitimately, I don't very often get chills when I listen to music and watch movies like these types of movies, but legitimately felt some chills, and it wasn't because it's freezing outside.
Right.
Like, it was
Like
very.
when she's on the rock and she's like,
that was one time where I didn't feel it.
World. You didn't feel it then?
No. Especially not that
Not
time.
that rendition. This
fine.
movie
But
won.
yes, I completely agree with you. Actually, the intro, like background
Yes.
music, is one of my favorites. Like when
Yes.
just the intro credits are rolling, and it like kind of goes through all of the songs that are like gonna
Yes.
happen and stuff. That's beautiful. And I also really like the ship song. Like we couldn't get the movie to start at first, so we had to find a bunch
the
of
Fathoms
different.
Below?
Yeah, we had to find a bunch of different versions, and I was super excited because every time we did it, I was like, "I'll tell you a tale of the bottomless blue in its head to the starboard heave ho," and I sang it every time.
Every
Look
time.
out, let a mermaid be waiting for you in mysterious fathoms below. I can't sing low. Can you do it for me?
Low.
Yeah,
Thank
there you go.
So every time we started the movie, I was like, "Oh, I got to sing the ship song again."
Yeah. No, I agree.
So yeah, the music in this movie is great. It won 2
It's
Oscars.
beautiful. Oh wow!
It won for best original score, and it won for best original song for Under the Sea, and it was also nominated for Kiss the Girl.
Oh, I
Interesting.
I don't doubt it. It was fantastic, and I'm sure you guys know this, but it's so interesting to me. When I think, well, I feel like when a lot of people think of the Little Mermaid, the first thing they think of is Part of Your World, because especially with her face, the song is very face centric.
Yeah.
Like, at least animation wise, like her face, like full on is most of the scene. You
Yes.
know.
And I
But
think
it's
that's-
funny because they almost cut that scene out.
They almost
Really?
cut Part
Yes.
of the World from the whole movie.
I would cry.
So I read, that originally, you know, they do screenings and stuff, and they try to
Test
see.
screenings?
Yeah, they want to see if people are interested in certain parts of the movies, and they want to go back and rewrite before it goes to the big screen, whatever. And they didn't have Part of Your World in some of the screenings, and they had Part of Your World in some of the other screenings, and they thought kids were going to get bored and not like it, and they almost cut it out.
I would cry.
Right? I feel like it's so iconic to the movie.
My favorite thing is when I'm driving to Disneyland and it comes on the Disney Pandora and I'm like, oh, get ready. And then I just belt it. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's a good
Yes, but it's also good inside the movie.
I mean, it is too. Yes.
It's very
I
good in the
mean,
movie.
that too. But yes, I love that song.
In that scene, Ariel's hair is moving around and it's very beautifully animated. And apparently that animation is based off of Sally Ride, the astronaut, from videos of her being in space and her hair just being weightless and stuff like that.
That's really cool.
That's
Which is very cool.
Because I don't know how, like, what other reference they would use. Just someone, like, dunking their
Underwater,
head
I
and just,
guess.
like, looking,
Water
you
and
know?
like just whooshing around. I don't know.
Whooshin'.
No, that's actually really cool. But I just think of that, and the first thing I thought of when I was reading that and reminiscing on that, you know, that they could have taken Part of Your World out, was how we kind of made fun of the Pocahontas, how they took the song out of Pocahontas at the end of the movie,
Right, yeah.
and how I was like, thank the good Lord
Yeah.
that they took that song out. But I wonder, would we have been saying the same thing? You know, I doubt it.
Doubt it.
I doubt it. But
it's very possible.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's no morning report, that's for sure.
This is
No
the
morning report.
Okay.
That's funny. I'm laughing because I'm reading Andre's notes on the movie,
Oh.
and it says this movie reeks of Kingdom Hearts. I've played those levels 4 times more than I've seen this movie.
So I love Kingdom Hearts. If for those of you who don't know, Kingdom Hearts is a video game that incorporates a ton of Disney movies and worlds, and you get to play through them. And in both Kingdom Hearts games, both main console games, you can play through the Little Mermaid levels. But one of them it's like all music and rhythm levels, so you're like following Sebastian as he like conducts you, and you have to like press the buttons along with the songs and stuff like that.
X-A-B-Y,
Yeah.
X-A-B-Y, X-A-B-Y-Y,
A lot of that.
A-B-X.
Interesting.
But with like Little Mermaid songs.
Under that Y.
Did you get to like?
Under the B-X-Y.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I remember when Ursula got really, really big, and I was like, whoa, she's scary. Like when at the end when she grows, you know? And he was like, yeah, she was a hard boss to beat on Kingdom Hearts.
Crazy hard. You
So he's like, I don't
attack
even-
her face with a keyblade. It's crazy.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. What are you going to say?
Okay, so I was just gonna say.
Hold on,
So
no.
in Kingdom
Hold on,
Hearts,
no,
the
what?
conceit is that like your character and then Donald and Goofy are with you, and you visit all these other worlds, and the people from the other worlds is like, "Are you from here?" And you're like, "Not really," but you know, you kind of fit in. And in the Little Mermaid,
Story of my life.
and in the Little Mermaid, in the beginning, as King Triton is bringing all the people in for the concert or whatever, you can see Donald, Goofy, and Mickey like in the crowd. They're in that scene, and I like to think that they're Kingdom Hearts characters about to interlope.
Interlope.
With the story.
Which is so
That's
funny
funny.
because I think all of us tried to pause the movie to see them, but I just couldn't.
Yeah,
I've
it
I've
goes by
seen
really fast.
pictures of it,
I've
but
just
I've
seen
not
pictures.
actually seen it myself.
So check it out.
So here's my thing about Ursula. Okay, do we know backstory on Ursula? Because from the movie, it looks like people know
a little
things.
bit, yes.
Because what I know, based on what she says from the movie, she says she's banished, exile, used to live in the palace. My question is, what happened to her? Is she King Triton's sister?
So I read that on one thing.
Because that's what I'm thinking.
I read that she is King Triton's sister, which is interesting because she's actually a different type of mythological creature. Like, she's not a mermaid. She's a Cisalia or something
Yeah.
like that, which is, half human, half octopus or whatever like that. So she may...
Which has a mythological name.
Yeah. She may or may not be his sister, but she was on his royal court,
Okay.
and she was banished from the royal court, but I don't know why. Michelle, do you know why?
Because she was trying to be king.
Oh. She was
Well-
trying to pull a Jafar, and she didn't make it.
That's why she's
Neither
all.
did he.
That's why she tries to take Ariel, because she doesn't really want Ariel. She wants King Triton because
Right.
she wants all the power.
Right.
In other words, she was trying to take the power.
Yeah.
Right. Which I got that part, but I just kind of wanted to know, like, where she was in the court. I guess it's not that important, but
She was the sea witch, I guess. The sea witch of the court.
she was like the tarot card reader. Like, well, it's funny because so we were talking about the way she's drawn, the way like her size and everything,
Yes.
and when she's next to King Triton, I want to call him King Trident. Next to
Trident.
King Trident, they're the same size.
Ah.
Like I was looking at their bodies, and legitimately, her entire upper torso that's outside of the octopus
frame.
literally is exactly the same as his.
That's interesting.
His is muscly, hers is a little pudgy and a little voluptuous in some
Yes.
areas,
curvaceous.
but they're the same size. So I thought that was really interesting, and that's what made me think maybe they were brother and sister because
Yeah.
they had similar body types
I like
and
that.
body language.
Body language. Ursula was based on the drag performer and John Waters' regular, Divine. So look up pictures of Divine and just think of Ursula.
Divine. No, we actually looked at pictures before this, and Divine is Ursula.
Straight up.
Ursula is Divine.
So-
Ursula is Divine.
Which kind of is Divine. So
Yes.
there you go.
In a past version of the movie, like when it was going through production, Ursula is King Triton's sister,
Oh, good.
which
Cool.
was eventually dropped. When King Triton's father died, Neptune. Neptune.
Yeah, Neptune. God of the sea.
Yes. Oh, I don't know why I wanted to say like Neptulus, like make it sound more aquatic or something
Well,
like
maybe
that.
maybe you're thinking of like Poseidon.
Oh, I'm thinking of Poseidon. Oh, Poseidon
I
is
thought
his
Poseidon was his
Poseidon
dad.
is his father. Neptune is his grandfather.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh.
There we go.
Yes.
That was like, why am I saying
Yeah.
the wrong thing? When Ursula and Triton's father died, the pair were given equal share of the sea plus 2 magical items. Triton received the trident, while Ursula received the magic nautilus shell.
Oh, yeah, the shell she uses to...
yeah, the shell that is on her necklace.
That holds
Huh.
Ariel's
Uh-huh.
voice.
And then he somehow took over, I'm
So,
assuming.
I mean, you can still kind of think of it like that. It was just like Ursula wanted all of the power. She
Right.
didn't want just some of it, and so he banished her from the kingdom.
I'm about it.
Because she was trying to get everything.
Well, this was funny, and I'm not really sure if this is like considered fanfic or if you want to get like mythological. I'm not a huge mythology person, but they were saying on the internet, the most
On the internet.
the most reliable source in the world was saying that if you think about it, Hercules and Ariel are cousins.
Yes, they are related.
They're
because
cousins
they are
because
descended from gods.
they both descended from Zeus, if you think about it, because Poseidon and Zeus, hold on,
I think Zeus and Poseidon are brothers.
brothers.
Yes.
Zeus and Poseidon are brothers, yes. So
And then they-
their fathers are brothers,
Yes.
which makes them cousins.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah.
And it was fun. The reason that this whole thing was funny was because the meme that I saw had Ariel washed up on shore, right? The scene from her washed up. And then it was the scene also where Hercules is washed up after he was fighting the
centaur?
The centaur. So it was like 2 washed up mythological creatures
With red hair.
ginger cousins. And
Yes.
I was like, there you go. Very nice.
Look at that.
So your favorite and my favorite together
Yes.
are washed up.
Well, that's fine.
At least yours has a reason to be washed up. She lives in the ocean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Hercules,
It's true.
not so much.
It's true.
I have
Okay.
some animation fun facts.
Oh, you're
please.
going to go to animation fun facts.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this was the last Disney animated movie to use hand-drawn cells. So everything after this was kind of done digitally, or at least more digitally than this one.
Which
But-
I appreciate because it was beautiful.
Yes, but this one used 1,000 different colors on 1,100 different backgrounds, and over 1 million drawings were done in total for this entire movie, which is crazy. Like I read,
My mind is blown.
I read that they like in the scene where like there's just a bunch of bubbles. All of those bubbles are hand drawn. So they outsourced the drawings to like China, and while they were doing that, there were like Tiananmen Square was happening, and like 4 blocks away was where all of these drawings were being held.
Oh my!
So it's very possible that
gosh.
all these bubbles were about to get burned down.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. Well, it's funny
That
too
is
because
crazy.
I think that I read something about the bubbles being like over 1 billion bubbles or
Yeah,
something
that's a
ridiculous
lot
in
of
this
bubbles.
movie. But even just, I mean, to kind of put some of that into perspective, I was also reading that the ocean fight scene at the end, where Eric's
whirlpool.
going all up in the Ursula biz. It took 2 years to animate that. Those 2 minutes
Oh,
took
wow.
2 years.
Nuts.
I don't think I could have that kind of dedication on one thing.
I couldn't
To
either.
anything.
I was gonna say animators have tons of dedication. Like these old animators, where like it was like hand drawn work. Man, that's crazy.
Can you imagine if someone like downplayed your scene? Like, oh, I didn't really like the color choice. I would have been like, oh, you don't like the color choice?
What if somebody was like, the fluke is the Duke of Soul? Yeah, and you know how they put the mustache on the fish?
Mhm.
What if they were like, I don't like the mustache, and they were like, no,
That mustache took me 7 years.
took me 7 years to put the mustache on that fish.
It's been 84
It's a
years.
big mustache.
7 years later. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I really want to get on the topic of Andre's favorite scene in the movie because he was so happy during the chef scene.
I love the chef scene. Number one,
Explain.
He knew all the words to it too. Like, you know the song that he sings?
Les poissons, les poissons, hee hee hee, ho ho ho.
He did the whole thing and I was dying.
love les poissons because I like seafood. So in that scene, it's just like it's like showing all of these like horrible scenes that Sebastian is seeing. Like there's an axe in a fish's head, and then there's like crabs that are stuffed all over the
And
place.
Andre's like,
and I'm like, oh man, this looks delicious. Me and Chef Louis would have got along really well.
Oh my gosh.
Because I would have very much enjoyed his
I was
food.
just dying when we were watching it. He did the hee 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 ho, and I was like, "What did you just do?"
Also, the music that's happening in that scene in the Les Poissons song. Not that part,
Oh.
but earlier. But earlier when I was like, I wish I could like vocalize it right now, but it sounds very much like "Be Our Guest" from Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, the background music.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah, I can't sing it right now because it's not coming to my brain. But
Well, it was really funny that you say you like that scene so much because Luis was literally yelling at Sebastian during that scene. He goes, "Why are you staying in the kitchen? Get out! This is like the number one place you don't want to
yeah.
be. Like, why was he
Yeah.
hanging out?"
he did
I
just
think
like
he was.
faint as soon as he.
I think he was just so scared.
Like
he just
shock.
he had to take it all
He
in.
was in
Like,
shock,
oh
yeah.
my god.
But it's okay because Sebastian gets his revenge at the end. He gets to take out Louis with a pole.
I mean, he was meandering out of that dang room. So he wasn't in complete shock because he was obviously moving out of there. Run!
Run away!
Fly, you fools!
Don't get stuffed.
He was shocked. Okay, he didn't go to self-defense class before. He didn't know what to do if a knife came out.
Well, you know what's really funny, and now I can't remember exactly what scene it was, but during that whole castle scene, you're going back and forth between the washroom where the ladies are washing Ariel's ship
Brag.
sail
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
and you're going in the kitchen and you're going into the dining room. There's this scene where you see a long it actually might have been the dining room, but you see like a long room with windows down the side, and it's very reminiscent of Ariel's grotto in Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, it looks just like that.
It is. Yeah.
Like the restaurant. And so that was really cool that they were able to actually model the restaurant off a like a scene in the movie.
Right.
Mhm.
Because
And-
usually, you know, they can only do what they have with space, and
Yeah,
that
that's
looked just
They
like
do.
it.
They do really good with the restaurant, which I'm sad is closed now. Even though the food wasn't good, but I just liked it.
Yeah.
And even the ride, like if you think about Kiss the Girl, how the two cranes like open up the
Oh,
tree,
yeah.
everything like that, or how Sebastian's using the thing as a microphone, the
The
water
Frond thing.
the water plant,
Yeah,
things
the
like
wa-
that
the
that
water
they
corn
like
dog.
really pay attention to detail in the ride too.
The water corn dog.
The water corn dog.
The water corn
Yeah,
dog.
that's what those things are. They're water corn
It's
dogs.
not a water corn dog. That's
I love
funny,
corn
though.
dogs. I hate hot dogs, but I
Oh
love
my
corn
Corn
dogs.
dog. Put some bread on
The
that.
water corn dog. The only other thing I have to say, and this is so funny that I even thought this. If you think about the Little Mermaid, Jodie Benson's voice is really in the first half of the movie and like the last 15 to 20 minutes of the movie. There's a good block where Jodie Benson's not even in it, and Ariel is just voiceless.
She's just like.
And
not
then I
talking.
almost said out loud, wow, this is where Ariel's acting skills really come through. But she's not a human actor.
This is where the animation is shining. Look at all that face acting she's
and
doing.
I literally thought, like, wow, this is when you can really see that Ariel has really good acting skills.
I wish you could see my face.
And I still think that because during those parts, like her facial expressions are so good and stuff. But it's not Ariel, guys. It's the animators.
Jodie Benson's acting is really great.
Jodie Benson, you did really, really good at the part where you were like silent. Okay.
Well, you know how everyone gets all mad about Tiana being like human for only a little bit? Well,
Yeah.
we could just get really mad that,
Jodie Benson's voice isn't in there for half the movie. She's still there though. She comes back in Ursula's
I'm
whatever
just saying
body.
Briar Rose is asleep for most of her movies, so let it be.
Yeah,
Very
true.
Oh my gosh, that is too funny. Okay, so Luis is itching
Oh yeah,
because he was
Is it
in
time?
saltwater when we watched this movie. Just
Okay.
kidding. Do you think she smells fishy? Not my baby. You guys are looking at the baby. I'm talking about
Addie?
Ariel.
Does she smell fish?
She smells salty.
Yeah, she probably almost definitely. She smells like a pier. Right?
No, you're not salty, Lou.
She smells like San Francisco.
I wouldn't like her.
I don't know how I was salty or something in the intro you just gave me. I'm very confused.
No, I said that you were in saltwater because we were
What's that mean?
ocean, Little Mermaid, Under the Sea.
What's your battle?
Okay. All right, so
That was great.
this one was a bit challenging for me.
Okay.
And rather than bring something humorous, I kind of want to bring something that is really going to make you guys think and
Oh.
potentially will depress you.
Oh, we're getting real.
So
He wants you to have a
FYI.
psychological
So
Why?
Les Mis. Okay.
So, who was less compassionate to their daughter's dreams?
Oh.
Was it Chief Tui from Moana or King Trident from The Little Mermaid?
Triton.
Trident.
Wait. What was the
Triton.
What are they? What?
Okay, one more time. Who was less compassionate
Towards.
Less
towards their
compassionate.
daughter's dreams? Was it Chief Tui from Moana or King Trident from Little
Triton.
Mermaid? Trident.
Don't get out of the
Triton.
water. Don't get in the
Trident.
water. Don't get out of the water.
Don't get in the water.
Oh.
Less
Oh
compassionate.
man. Well, I mean, Chief Tui sang like a whole song about it.
Don't
Moana.
don't go in that
Make
water.
way, make way.
It's scary in there.
My friend died in there, but my wife died in there too.
Less compassionate.
Up there.
Okay, I have a weird. Oh, this is a weird.
What?
Oh no! I like
Say
King
words.
Triton though. I'm thinking, and I think that
I think this allows you to talk a little bit more about King Triton, though.
Compassionate.
Yeah.
wise, less compassionate. I think that King Triton it was just being like an overprotective father, and so was Chief Tui. He's being an overprotective father too, and they both had an experience. Like one's friend died, one's wife died. Wow, they're very similar. Okay,
Which I think we talked
less
about in
compassionate.
Moana.
I think
Probably.
that's hard for me because they're both compassionate. Like they both feel for their daughters, but they also like want to do what's going to keep them safe.
Well, let's talk about what their actions. Like Triton, he tells Ariel over and over again not to go up there, and she keeps doing it. So he destroys most of her possessions that she's taking a long time to collect.
Yeah, but he also did that because Sebastian was like, if this was my daughter, I would have an iron fist.
Oh, so you think he had?
He doesn't
was negatively
He
influenced.
he
by
kind of
Sebastian.
listens to Sebastian.
So he
a lot.
was
like
an
Sebastian.
instigator.
Yeah, Sebastian was kind of an instigator because Sebastian tells him that, and then he's like, "Okay, Sebastian, you go watch my daughter." And then when he comes back,
Yeah, and he walked himself right on into that. That
Yeah.
sucks.
Wait, doesn't he tell him I would be an Iron Fist after he does all that though?
no before.
He says all
Really?
of that, and then King Triton's like, well,
Okay.
sucks to suck, go do it.
Yeah, I think
He's like, oh, you got a hard shell? Get out there.
Right.
Let's do this.
I'm
Go
gonna
for it.
go less compassionate. This is really hard because Triton, even when he destroys the stuff, I mean, they like make a scene to his face where he like looks back and like he looks miserable, where he's like, "Oh no, like what did I do? Like my daughter." But
Chief
it's
Moana's
hard.
dad, he threatens to go destroy all the boats,
Yeah, he does.
but he doesn't get a chance to.
He probably would have, honestly,
He
if
probably
Moana
would have.
had gotten there.
If his grandma or his mom had been
no,
like,
his mom died very
Dying.
Right? Yeah.
succinctly.
Yeah.
so we didn't really get to see that more like anger from him per se because he was dealing with something else. And then really Ariel just left and Moana just left. Like their fathers didn't really have a chance to stop them. But I'm going to say Chief Tui, whatever, is less compassionate because King Triton was like, nobody in this kingdom is sleeping until they find my daughter, my daughter, my daughter. And they didn't go looking after Moana.
That's true. I don't think they sent out any boats to
go find her.
But
then again, the mom also probably told the dad, like, I sent her away. Because
Yeah,
the mom
she did
helped
help
pack.
That's true.
This is hard because I literally think that it's equal.
Yeah.
And I don't really I appreciate the conversation, but I don't think that either of them are not compassionate
Right.
towards their dreams, because I think that had there not been a catastrophe in both of their lives, they wouldn't have barred their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he would have let Moana go sailing had the ocean not killed his friend. Similarly, if they had already been doing concerts up on the surface, they
She
would have
been
just kept
fine
doing
to-
it.
To go up there and hang out
She would have
with
been fine to
Eric.
go up there and hang out with humans. It
Yeah.
would have been fine.
And both of them learned their lesson by the ends of the movie. You know,
No help from Dad.
Triton, he's like, well.
Oh, you mean Dad learned their lesson?
Yeah, Dad learned the lesson. Triton's like, okay, you can be a human. I'll turn you into a human, in fact. And
Bye.
you can stay up here.
Which that took a lot, I'm
and
sure.
Moana's dad was like, you know what? Here's this whole fleet of ships. Go out there and do your thing.
Go,
yeah,
Dad.
it's a tie for me. They're both compassionate, Luis, not compassionate.
They were all pretty good dads.
They were good dads. Disney dads. But they weren't dads
Is
like
Triton
that.
a daddy?
No.
You know,
He's
like-
He's a
face right
grandpa.
now. Andre's face is like, are you going to call him a daddy right now?
He's a grandpa.
I have never seen that snarl on your face, sir.
He's a papa.
he looks like
He's a papa.
He has very big eyebrows.
he looks like if Santa Claus became a bodybuilder and then also had a tail.
Oh dear.
I have a
Anyway.
problem with mermaid reproduction.
What?
Are we going to discuss this?
I'm just saying, think about it. I'm confused.
I have.
Well, how do fish reproduce?
Do they lay eggs? Is Ariel...
Oh no,
hatched?
they don't. They don't lay eggs.
They
well-
don't lay eggs?
No.
They're a amphibian.
Where
I
where is
made
that
up.
baby coming out of their mouths?
I need to watch that documentary on Animal
Mermaids?
Planet about mermaids again.
There was a documentary on mermaids?
Yeah,
That's not real. I keep
it was
telling
about
that's
how
not
the
real.
government is hiding mermaids from us.
Oh, Jesus. I'm
It's
sure
true.
you would find that one.
He keeps telling me. He keeps telling me
Area
it's
51,
not real, but
mermaids.
it's real. Yeah.
So, but seriously, like, I'm not trying to get gross, but, like, I don't understand.
How mermaids reproduce.
Because mermen also have tails,
Right?
Yeah.
and mermaids have tails, and they're like half human, half fish. Do they lay fish eggs?
In
I feel like they came out of eggs.
Right.
In mermaids, reproduction is much like that of dolphins. The
I
reproductive
don't even know how that
organs
goes.
of both the male and female are akin to the dolphin and whale. And mermaid babies are born live.
Live babies.
The
Well, I would
opening
hope
can
so.
stretch as much as a... You know what? And mermaid babies are born live.
Oh.
No eggs.
Okay.
So it's like a dolphin.
Just like dolphins.
There's
I
just a-
didn't
there's
know
just
what
a
dolphins
slit.
did, but okay. Okay.
Okay.
Ta-da.
Interesting.
That's interesting because dolphins are mammals. And I guess half of mermaids are mammals.
Yeah. I always used to think as a kid, like mermaids...
That bottom half.
like put on their tail because like I have legs, right? So I would like put on my tail.
What? You got legs?
But I always
You
thought they
guys,
could like change
Michelle has legs.
You got legs.
I'm
right?
so happy
fine.
you have legs, Michelle.
but I always pictured it like they could change
Like
the
it was
color
a
of their
dress or
tail.
something.
Like it was clothing.
A skirt.
Like
Oh,
they could
okay.
just put on a different color tail. But no, if you're born with a green tail, you got a green
Yeah,
tail.
Green tail, yeah. That's it.
Well, she should have put green shells, yeah.
Well, she could change her shells.
Just got to stand out.
Just like when she turns into a human, she's still wearing her shells. She just has legs.
I thought you were going to say, like, her shells under her dress. Like, it's now a bra.
No.
She keeps
You know
it
what I'm
on the
saying.
whole time.
And that's how bras came to be.
Whatever.
I mean, good for her.
Right. Let me close out of this how to fish reproduce tab.
Oh my goodness. How do fish
Since we
reproduce?
solved that.
So,
We solved that mystery. My favorite thing is that you looked up how do mermaids reproduce, and there was an article on it, and
Yeah.
it gave us some really good,
Some real knowledge.
in-depth mystical knowledge.
just
there.
find anything on
Scientifically
Google.
backed.
Shout out to Google. Google.
Mermaid.
Thanks, Googs.
Reproduction.
Thanks, Googs. Thank you very
Hope
much.
you all learned something today.
We learned a lot. Also, so cool. Fun fact: in the second movie,
Oh, so cool.
in Little Mermaid 2,
There's
Ariel-
a prequel and a 2.
There's a prequel.
You've never
and
seen
a
The Little
sequel.
Mermaid 2.
Michelle.
Keep going.
The
No,
Little
I
Mermaid
haven't
2,
seen it.
Ariel and Prince Eric have a daughter, and her name is Melody.
Is that why you want your baby's name to
Yeah,
be
that's
Melody?
why I want my baby to be named Melody. So
Oh,
then
there
I
you
can
go.
sing the song, You're My Beautiful Melody. So, in the second...
Is that from the movie?
Yes.
It must be.
In the second
Have
movie...
you seen it, Andre?
I've seen it, but definitely nowhere near as many times as Michelle.
Go ahead.
seen it a
Michelle.
lot. In the second movie, it's about how her daughter wants to be a mermaid and not a human. It's really cool.
Sucks to suck. So does she go to like a land witch to like get her fins?
You'll have to watch it.
It's Ursula's sister.
It's Ursula's sister. Yeah,
She's skinny Ursula.
Ursula.
Is she a land witch?
No, she's
a
still
sea witch.
She's still a sea witch.
She goes to the sea a lot. Like she goes and talks to Scuttle on the rocks and stuff.
Scuttle on the rocks. I think we should make that a drink.
Oh,
Ooh, Scuttle on the rocks. On that note, let's go into our ratings.
ratings.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it's time for ratings. So
Tell us what it got.
yes, this movie has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Nice.
Which is pretty fresh. It's a
Certified fresh.
pretty good score.
Certified fresh.
This movie made a lot of money. So this was the first movie to begin the Disney Renaissance.
Yes.
So before this, from like the 70s to the late 80s, Disney movies weren't doing that great in the theaters. The animated ones, at the very least, they weren't hitting hard. But when The Little Mermaid came out, that changed everything.
It's because Jodie Benson.
Pocahontas and the Lion King.
Jodie
and
Benson is the best.
Mulan and all those.
She was only in it for like 2 minutes.
I don't hurt.
2 minutes.
She
I
acted
don't
really well though in her
her.
silent parts.
Yes, she did.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, this received a lot of critical acclaim. This is the first Disney movie to receive Oscars since like The Rescuers or something like that. Was it The Rescuers? I don't think it was The Rescuers. Since the 70s.
I don't know.
So my rating, let me give it one. Michelle is looking at me as if I say anything under 10, I'm going to get kicked out of our apartment.
You don't have to say 10.
You have to say 9.9.
I am going to give this movie a solid.
He has to add solid just so that you know it's not tipping on 4 fours. It's
I'll look
solid.
away. I'll look away.
You know what? I honestly,
She looked away.
honestly, I did not think about what the actual score I was going to give it was going to be beforehand. I'm thinking of it right now. And I think
Do you think about your scores beforehand? I just go with whatever comes in my head.
I usually think about it a little bit beforehand. Or,
I'm just
or I
kidding.
know in the general vicinity.
I'll look away.
4.
I'll look away.
I'm kind of just prolonging it to make Michelle squirm.
She
know
is
what?
squirming.
Clock is ticking. Let's go.
She is squirming right now.
I'm giving it a solid 9.
That's good.
I like this movie a lot. It's a good watch. It's fun. It's got great music that I sing and I use in my act.
Yeah.
Which is funny we haven't brought up. If
Yeah, we
you
didn't
guys
bring that
didn't
up.
know, Andre is a fantastic stand-up comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And he's actually, doing a lot of shows and he's getting out there and he's doing his thing. People know him. We know someone famous on our
Somebody,
podcast.
Yeah.
somebody recognized me at a restaurant the other day.
Oh
yeah,
my
they
God.
did. It was funny.
Yeah.
So he has lots of funnies, and one of his best funnies, I think, and maybe it's because I just really understand the reference. I mean, I get your references,
Yes.
but he does a kiss the girl
Joke.
I
big.
do a joke about Kiss the Girl. I'm not going to repeat it here because it's not that
Not as family
But-
friendly as
but,
we might want.
Family friendly.
another
But
fun-
I do sing the song.
Yeah, he does sing
And
the
it's
song.
fantastic.
And another fun fact, before we were together, Emily and Luis, and we went to one of his comedy shows, and this is when I was like, ooh, who's that tall drink of water? that kind of thing.
She was
Tall,
telling me
dark,
to
and
drink the
handsome.
water.
You
Yeah.
were.
So he sang that song and did that joke, and I was like, that's it.
She did.
This is the one.
She
He did a Little
slammed
Mermaid.
down
Cinched
her
it.
hand
On the table.
and
Yes.
was like, "That is
So-
mine."
So, yeah.
And he is. So, good job to me.
Yeah.
You
good
got
job.
it.
The Little Mermaid got us together.
You're
Well,
welcome.
that
I'll be
that
Little
sealed the
Mermaid.
deal. Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right. What's your rating, Emily?
Don't look at me.
Okay.
I know it's your birthday. I'll give it a good score.
No, give it the score you think.
I would definitely say an 8.5. And I'm going to give it like an 8.8.
Right. I was thinking like 8.7, but
Yeah,
then I just
because because of Michelle.
Yes.
No,
give it your rating.
It was really good. Much better. I agree with you, Michelle. When I went in with a critical eye, I was like, ooh, I hope I don't dislike it.
Right.
And I
was kinda scared. I
It
was kinda
came
scared,
up
too.
being much better than I thought with the critical eye.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I watched it about a year ago, and I remember liking it more than I thought at that point, too. So when I rewatched it again, I was like, this was really good. But like I said, the music is what does it for me.
So beautiful.
It's just every single note is well placed. Just the score is fantastic. Mr. Mencken did it again. But the one thing, and this is so ridiculous, and it has nothing to do with the movie, but there's one scene. She has she's laying on the rock underwater. She has the flower in her hair. She's pulling the
The flower
flower
petals.
petals out. He loves me, not, whatever. And it's funny because I saw that and it instantly took me back nostalgia wise. When I was a kid, I had a puzzle of that picture,
scene.
and
Oh.
I did that puzzle probably 90 million times. So it was funny because when I saw the picture on the screen, I was like, "Oh my god!" And
Right.
it
That's
brought
so
back
funny.
that childhood memory,
Yeah.
and so then it made me like it even more. So
Yeah.
it's so funny how nostalgia does that for you.
Yeah.
Oh, and I mean, it's definitely a nostalgia thing for me.
Well, and
Like,
that's the only
I-
reason that
I mean,
Andre
it's my
gave
favorite.
Lion King a 10.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Just
is the
kidding.
main.
Yeah, you know.
But
It was-
also, it's a great movie, and everyone should watch it and love it forever.
Squash bananas. What's the matter with you? Hey.
Luis,
I will give it an 8.5.
8.5. 8.5.
I'll take it, Lou.
That was
That was
that.
it. That was all.
8.5.
And he's
No.
gone. Okay.
In and out.
I am giving.
Drive by scores.
I'm obviously giving this movie a 10 out of 10. There's nothing
Obviously.
wrong with
Obviously.
it. I even watching it with a critical eye, trying to find something that I didn't like about it, and there wasn't anything. And I,
And there was nothing.
There was
I
nothing.
mean,
Not one thing.
I will make the comment though. You know how you said if they were going to take out part of your world? I think that is the scene where I like really fall in love with Ariel, and I think if they had taken that scene out, that her character wouldn't have had as much of like a punch to me. Like
She would have been annoying at that point.
Right.
Because that's where you understand.
That's
like
where you can
yes.
sympathize with her.
Oh, yeah. She
And
would have been
that's-
annoying.
I
if
mean,
you
that
hadn't
song
had
is
that.
beautiful to me. Like there's plenty of scenes in there that are just gorgeous, like visually, like where she's looking off in the distance and stuff like that. But I think if you took that scene out, it would ruin the movie for me.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't talk about this, but if Ariel can sign her name on a contract, can't she write a letter to Eric?
Yeah. Maybe she just didn't find a pen on land.
I mean,
No, I totally
Weren't a lot of
agree. I
pens
wasn't
around.
going to bring that kind of thing up because that just
that's
punches
the
a
only
hole.
loophole.
Like, she couldn't have done some serious sign language. Like, she tried for 2 seconds and got
Right.
over
Sign
it.
language.
Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Body
Like,
language.
But
If
body
everyone-
language.
If you're going to tell me that freaking Sebastian can sing and everyone
That's
can
right.
hear him, why couldn't he have just been like, yo, here's the dealio?
It's so
Oh,
funny.
because it would have been weird.
'Cause,
But you know what I
Prince
mean?
Eric in that scene and because the girl, he's like, "Did you hear something?" As if he doesn't hear all of the magic.
Sha
that's
la la
happening
la
around
la
him.
la.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, they're
but
behind
you
you.
can't. Oh, I love that song.
No, I
Oh
totally
my
dig it.
God.
Yes.
But that's why I didn't bring any of that up because, I mean, yeah, she could have very easily
I just had to
gotten
say
to
it.
know.
That, because coming from me, that's the only thing that I'm like meh about. But I just ignore it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not.
So yeah,
I pretend that in some way in that magical contract it said you cannot pick up a pen for the next 3 days.
right.
probably did honestly, because Ursula was.
There was a lot of contract.
It was a long
And she did
contract.
not read it.
It's legally
FYI,
binding.
She didn't read it at
adults,
all.
when you go to sign your name on anything, read it in
read
its
what it
entirety.
says.
read the
whole thing.
contract. That's the lesson, the moral of the story.
That's a very important.
Read the
Read
contract.
the contract.
Alan Mencken, if you're listening,
Alan,
we
we
love
had
you.
a message for you.
the message is, "The Little Mermaid changed my life. Thanks for those songs, homie. You the realest."
Please don't cry. She got red when she said that. It changed her life.
Oh, I just just love it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Every time we go to Disneyland, we have to ride that ride.
Yep.
And you know what she
multiple
does?
times.
She gets all up in my face and she's like, "Look at this time, isn't it neat?"
Yeah,
like,
I
yes,
do.
it is neat, Michelle.
And I'm always like, look, that's from the movie, and that's from the movie, and that's from the movie too.
Michelle, the whole thing for the movie.
And then
We
we
need
have
to-
to go in the Little Mermaid store and just look at the dingle hoppers, even though I don't buy one, but because they're for children.
Maybe I should just buy her a dingle hopper.
You could just buy her a dingle.
Like on one side it's a fork, on the other side it's a brush. She needs that so that she
Yeah.
can.
So I can
Stop
snack
using
and
the-
brush at the same time.
So you can hashtag always snagging.
Hashtag always snacking.
So she can stop taking the utensils out of your drawer and using them for her hair. That's just
Yeah.
unsanitary.
Gross.
I
Got a lot
know.
of oils
What can
all
I
over
say?
the place.
Ew.
Well,
Nasty.
thanks for watching The Little Mermaid, everybody, with me for my birthday. Woo!
Yes, you guys go on social media and wish Michelle a happy birthday. We are at the Walt Vault Pod on Instagram. You follow us on Twitter at the Walt Vault Pod, or you can like us on Facebook at the Walt Vault Pod. We are everywhere
And if you would like us to stop drinking mimosas
during the podcast.
during the podcast, you just let us know.
Yeah, fun fact, it's my birthday, so we're drinking
So
mimosas
we're
right now.
drinking.
It's fine.
We're having a-
Hashtag always, well, no, we're not doing that. Always snacking and always sipping on water.
What?
Hashtag always sipping on water.
Because I'm a mermaid and mermaids drink water.
I hope they don't.
Mic drop.
Oh my God, you guys! If you want, to, if you guys want to contact us, you can email us at contact@thewaltvaultpod.com, or feel free to message us, DM us on any of our social media platforms.
He wanted to say slide on into our
Slide
DMs.
on into our DMs once again. The Walt Vault is available to subscribe to on YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play, and of course iTunes. That's the place where the magic is happening. Go to iTunes, leave us a review, leave us a rating. That really helps us out and lets people know that you like us.
And while you're doing that, you can like us and follow us on Instagram. We're having our 250 follower giveaway.
That's right.
We're getting nice and close.
Yes.
So if you want to get in on that, like our picture, comment, tag a friend, and for an extra entry, like a super extra entry, you can leave a rating, rate or leave a comment and take a picture of it and send it over to us,
Yes.
and we will give you an extra
We'll give you
vote.
an extra entry, and you
Voting.
can win our giveaway.
Some really good stuff,
So,
actually.
yes. So do that. Tell your friends to follow us on the Walt Vault so we can get that giveaway gave away. That's it for now, you guys. But we will see you next week with a new movie that is yet to be announced. The Vault
Oh, do you want to announce
is not
it?
closed. Wait, what's the next movie?
It is. I wrote it down. The Good Dinosaur.
The Good Dinosaur. Pixar's The Good Dinosaur from like 2012 or something like that. I
It
don't know.
was like 2 years ago.
2015. I don't remember. I did not look it up.
Well, yeah, have you know that Luis picked this movie and he originally picked McFarlane USA.
So y'all dodge that bullet.
So we made him pick The Good Dinosaur instead. Woo!
We made Luis do everything. That's it for now, you guys. The vault is now closed.
Bye.
Bye.